Today is Martin Luther King Day, and I'm standing right under a Confederate monument. I'm sure I don't have to tell you that this year, and this week in particular, I'm especially motivated to join in lifting every voice. Since someone of a certain orange complexion decided to use his voice and show yet again where his heart is. They want to make America hate again? Together, you and I can make her better than ever before. We're going to exercise the vote that was hard fought and long awaited for so many in this country. The vote that is still under attack by suppressive laws and discriminatory voter purging practices. My team and I will be making sure that everyone we come into contact with knows how to go online and check or change their registration status. We must use every tool in the tool belt to make sure that folks are educated and activated to turn out this May 22nd and then again in November, leaving no voter behind. After all, there was a time when I wouldn't have been able to vote. I have to remind some of my white peers that at America's founding, it was only the richest white land-owning males that could vote, the millionaires and billionaires of their time. Today, our democracy is again being threatened by the wealthiest among us, while their fortunes are made on the backs of everyday folks just trying to get by. So much of what we see as racial injustice is also tied to economic inequality. Labor and economic struggle were those last chains Dr. King was fighting to break, and it's on us to never forget that. If there were ever any questions as to whether we still need to keep Dr. King's dream alive, we need not look any further than for the answers at our school system. Yes, there are comments from racist politicians, rampant abuse from poorly trained, unsupervised law enforcement, and the horrific events of Charlottesville. But before all these items made headlines, we let many of our schools and neighborhoods resegregate to pre-1970s era conditions. And what happened? We found new chains on either side of our walls. We're still having conversations about history and heritage. I think you know where I'm going with this whole history and heritage thing. And I think more people who look like me need to figure out what exactly they're so damn proud of. Let me say, I'll never really know what it's like to live in another man's skin. But I don't need mine glorified in stone to remind me of a time when the blood in the veins of my family flowed with hate and ignorance. But I'll tell you, like I said at an NAACP rally in Augusta, at their racist monument, with all this talk of preserving history, I say we build monuments to celebrate these days when we can come together and stand tall and proud against hate and discrimination of all forms. This May 22nd, we can stand up at the polls. We can parade to victory for our schools and hospitals. We can march for fair wages, Social Security, and Medicare for all. Like Dr. King was a drum major. We can take the baton and be a drum major for prison reform and a more just justice system. We can lead with our ballots and protect laborers in the workplace, regardless of how they look, what gender they are, or who they love. If we really appreciate Martin Luther King's drum major instinct sermon, we understand it isn't about those who make appeals for notoriety or believe they're owed a seat at the front row. Those who speak most eloquently or rise to opportunity most naturally are not necessarily those who carry the torch. Because the drum major is in all of us. Join the movement at votetrent.com. We've got work to do. Now let's turn the 12th district back blue.